The Princess and the Frog, adapted from the online story written by Tasha Gunther, which is based on the German fairy tale first collected by the Brothers Grimm. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess. This princess loved to play alone in the palace gardens while she tossed around her favorite golden ball. Now, the problem with playing alone was that no one was ever there to catch the ball if she tossed it too high in the air. One day, as she was running around lilies and daisies, hedges and roses, she tossed her ball higher in the air than she ever had before.
Oh no!
Her beautiful golden ball had plopped right into a small pond nearby. She ran over to the pond and watched sadly as the golden spear sank deeper and deeper into the water. The princess looked down at her dress. She was wearing her favorite golden dress. The sparkles and gems on the front of the brilliant gown were rare, and she was afraid that if she entered the water, she would destroy her clothing. Frustrated with her situation, the princess began to cry. Suddenly, the princess heard a voice coming from the middle of the water. Hop, hop, hop.
Don't you know how to swim?
Asked a frog in the pond.
Oh yes, I do know how to swim.
Well, why don't you come on in then?
Because I don't want to spoil my beautiful golden dress.
Well, I suppose I could get it for you.
You could? Oh, please do, please do.
What will you give me in return for getting your golden ball?
Anything, I promise. I have diamonds and pearls with me, and I have gold coins back at the palace.
What I would like is a friend. That's all. A friend to spend time with me, to eat supper with me, to read to me, to sleep beside me, and to kiss me goodnight.
Anything, I promise.
And with that, the small green frog hopped into the water and retrieved the princess's golden ball. The minute he handed it over, the girl ran around, giggling and tossing her beloved ball up in the air while running back to the castle. She had completely forgotten all about the frog. That evening at supper, the girl was seated at the table with her father, the king. Before either of them could take a bite, there came a small knock at the door. The king walked to open it. Greek. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. In came the green frog.
I have tea supper with you, princess.
The frog said happily, hopping up on the table. The princess gently grabbed the frog and placed him outside the door. She turned her heel and sat down at her spot once more, ignoring the suspicious look from the king.
And who was that, princess?
Oh, no one's special.
The stern look from her father caused her to go red with embarrassment. So she confessed that she had promised the frog that she would spend time with him, eat supper with him, read for him, let him sleep with her, and kiss him goodnight.
But I don't want to hang out with him. He's gross.
A promise is a promise, princess. We must always keep our promises.
With that, the girl slowly shuffled over to the door and opened it up. Greek. Hop, hop, hop. The frog ate supper with the princess and then followed her to her bedroom. The princess got onto her bed and began to read a storybook.
What are you reading?
He asked, trying to peer over her shoulder to see.
Oh, nothing.
She replied, shrugging him off. Sadly, the frog hopped over to her bed and sat down on her pillow. But before he could get comfortable, the princess ran over to him, picked him up, and placed him by the window.
But you promised.
She sighed and took him back. With her to bed. She read him a bedtime story, and surprisingly, the frog was quite smart and funny. She actually enjoyed his company. When it was time to sleep, the frog asked her friend Dun for a bedtime kiss. She refused, scrunching her face once more at the sight of the green creature before her. The princess turned off the light and tried to go to sleep. In a few minutes, she heard the sounds of weeping. She turned the light back on to see the frog beside her, wiping tears from his eyes. She was hit with a wave of guilt for making the poor frog cry. So she tucked him in bed beside her and kissed him gently. Then she turned off the light again and lay back down to sleep. Whoosh! All of a sudden, the small green frog had transformed into a handsome young prince. Ta-da! The prince informed her that an evil witch had put a spell on him, and only a kiss could return him back to his original self. It just so happened that the princess was the first one to break the spell. Forever after that, the prince and princess were able to play together in the palace gardens. The princess was happier than ever to have a playmate, and whenever she accidentally tossed the ball too high in the air, she was glad to have a friend to go and get it for her. The end.